Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sean Austin here again from Sean's Rabbit Train Aquaponic Produce, and we're back with another rabbit farming video. I just want to say a happy new year to everyone. Thank you to everyone who supported us in 2023, and we look forward to your continued support in 2024. May this year bring you all the success that you deserve, and health, strength, wellness to everyone. Okay, we want to start off the new year with something for the new people. Okay, so if you're a newbie, this video is for you. And even if you're not a newbie, you might still learn something from this video. So if it's your first time here with us, go ahead right now and hit that subscribe button. Okay, you don't want to miss out on the info that we bring forward. Also, hit that little bell so you'll be notified whenever we upload new content. And I know you're gonna like this one, so go ahead right now and just hit the like button. Hit the like button one time, because I know you're gonna like this one. Okay, so new year, new persons, new venture. You're looking to make some extra money, diversify your income, start your own business, fine. If you decide to go into rabbits, then there are 10 things you need to do to be successful, and we're going to discuss that right after the intro. Okay, we're back. Now, we're talking about 10 things that you as a new person coming into rabbits need to do to be successful. Okay, now remember, this is definitely one of those ventures where you don't want to put the cart before the horse. There are certain things that you just need to get in the right order, and it doesn't guarantee, but it increases your likelihood of success. Off the bat, number one, passion. You got to have passion for what you're doing, whether it's rabbit farming or otherwise. If you're going into a venture and you don't have a real passion for that venture, you're not going to put your heart and soul into it. Additionally, rabbit farming, like all other forms of livestock farming, nothing is ever going to go strictly according to plan. You're going to have some ups and downs, you're going to have some successes and some failures. And if you don't have passion for this, at the first sign of defeat, you're going to give up. Trust me, there were several times in the past when we may have considered giving up on rabbit farming because things just weren't going the way we wanted them to go. But as long as you are passionate about something, it's a lot easier to get over those hurdles and keep going until eventually you get to that point of success. So, you gotta have passion. Number two, study the market. Irregardless of if you're deciding to go into pets or into the meat market, you have to first identify that market. Don't just jump in and hope that things work out. Okay? Now, it's a lot easier if you're starting now, because there is some infrastructure in place. There are a lot of people into rabbit farming already, but you as the individual, you're getting started in a venture, you need to know your market. So ask around, ask your friends. I mean, we're in the age of social media now. You can do an online survey. You can find out from all your followers, if this is something that I'm doing, would you all support me? Would you buy from me? Is this something you all are interested in? How much would you be willing to pay for this particular product? And if it's rabbits, of course, you always have the option to visit some of the pet shops in your area and other areas to see how they're selling their rabbits, what price they're selling at, how much they're willing to purchase from you at. This is really important. If you're going into meat as well, it's the same thing. Survey, ask your friends, ask your family members. Something that we did when we were starting out, we did cold confrontations. We just stopped people on the street and asked them if they're willing to fill out a survey. And right there we asked them the questions, and then we compiled that data, and that guided us in the direction that we wanted to go with our rabbits. It's the same with meat. What about pricing? Find out from people how much they'll be willing to pay for rabbit meat if you are a producer. Visit your local supermarkets, your meat shops, anywhere that deals with meat. Find out if they carry the product, would they be willing to carry it? If they are, how often would they want you to supply them? Would it be weekly, monthly, fortnightly? You get that information. Or you can always partner with someone who already has a market and just continue to supply, because chances are they're going to be looking for other suppliers because they want to open up new markets, but they alone may not be able to supply. So it's a good chance that you can partner with someone who already has a market and you can start getting some cash flow from the earliest possible time. Okay, number 3, think about scale. If you're going to go into rabbit farming, we always recommend that you grow into it. Okay, there might be that temptation if you have the capital to start big, but if you don't have the experience, you may find it a bit overwhelming, because like I said, livestock farming isn't a given. There are going to be ups, there are going to be downs. You're going to have a plan, it's not always going to go the way you want it to. So you're going to have some setbacks along the way. It's guaranteed, there's no way around that, because once you're dealing with livestock, nothing is certain. So like I say, start small and grow into it, so you have a little chance to get your feet wet and learn how to deal with certain aspects of rabbit farming before you go really big. And then when you have a problem, you find yourself overwhelmed and you just feel like giving up. So it's easier if you start small and grow into it. Number 4, find a mentor. Now, there's a lot of information available online, particularly on YouTube, and chances are, if you're looking at this video right now, you are probably interested in rabbits on some level. So there are a lot of videos online about rabbit farming, and it's a good source of information. Just be mindful, not everything is applicable to your situation depending on your location, and not everything is necessarily accurate, you know, because there are a lot of anecdotal things that people do in rabbit farming. You may or may not want to try some of those methods. Me, I personally like to stick to the science. So if you like the scientific side of rabbit farming, then that's where we are. But there are a lot of other videos out there. I mean, take what you need, leave what you don't need. Okay, it's as simple as that. Or the ultimate best thing is to find a successful rabbit farmer in your area and ask them to guide you. Now, I'm gonna caution you here. Most rabbit farmers are willing to help you and guide you along, but people generally don't like to have their time wasted. So if you're really serious, apply yourself, don't waste the person's time, and I'm sure that they're gonna assist you. Okay, number 5. Now that that's covered, let's think about housing. Now, there's no need for anything fancy. You can keep rabbits under a 2-story house, under a shed, in a garage, even a spare room in your house. As long as you can provide proper ventilation while shielding them from direct sun, wind, and rain, you're going to be okay. Now, you need cages. Now, whether you decide to build or buy is entirely up to you, but there are pros and cons to everything. If you're going to build, chances are you're likely able to acquire some cheap or free material. A lot of people use pallets. Most pallets are free, so that's free lumber, you know, that you can utilize. You might probably even be able to get some wire secondhand that you can reuse and things like that. If that's the case, fine. Just be mindful that if you go in that direction, there's a shorter life to the structure you're going to build. Wire exposed to rabbit urine degrades quite quickly, so make sure it's a good quality wire, because you're going to spend a lot of time repairing cages, and that is going to break your spirit. Trust me. If you're going to use pallet, fine. Just remember that you're using wood, and wood has a life to it. There are a lot of dongs. You can have termites, you can have straight up rot, or you can have damage via the rabbit route, because rabbits love to gnaw and chew on wood. So you're going to have to do some repairs and upkeep from time to time, and remember, that's additional labor. So that's something you want to consider. Now, If you're gonna buy a cage, obviously the upfront cost is gonna be more. However, you're gonna get something that's stronger. It's gonna have a longer life to it. More than likely, it's gonna be neater. It's gonna be more aesthetically pleasing and functional. You know, you're gonna have smoother edges, less chances of any injury to you or the rabbits, things like that. You know, because trust me, building cages, you're guaranteed to get some cuts and bruises. Okay, now whichever way you decide to go, there are a few things that you should try and implement. For instance, you want self-cleaning cages. Even if you're building your cages, make the flooring out of plastic, wire, or if you're using wood, leave enough spacing in the wood so that the urine and feces could fall through to the bottom. If you're outside, you can allow it to fall to the ground and periodically clean it up, add it to your compost heap. If you're indoor, you're gonna have to have some type of tray system. Just remember, if you have trays, that's a little more labor to clean those trays on a regular basis. Or you can do like my friends Aaron and Shiva, big up to you guys down in Cuba there. They were part of the rabbits competition. They have an indoor setup, but they used dung boards and trays to direct all the waste via pipes to the outside of the building to make their labor a little bit easier. So these are things you could look at. Okay guys, number 7, automatic watering systems. This is something I swear by. Now, a lot of people will think, hey, you know what? I only have a few rabbits, so maybe I can start with some bowls, some crops. I personally don't advise it. One thing I believe you should have, irregardless of your scale of your setup, are automatic waterers. There are various types. We have 2 particular types that we use here. Let me show you them. We have this type with the T and the brass nipple. So when you touch it, water comes out. And we have the bowl. Come, move your bum. Come, step aside. We have this type, the bowls. Similar setup with the nipple. When they touch it, water flows into the bowl. I lean towards this one because there's less wastage of water. Because even though they sip from the nipple, the water that drops stays in the bowl and they come back and drink it. Now, why do I believe so much in automatic watering systems? Okay, it's really simple. Rabbits need a steady supply of clean drinking water. It's that simple. Okay, if you're using a bowl, if you've observed rabbits for any period of time, you can almost guarantee that that bowl of water is going to be there for probably about 10 to 15 minutes max, maybe less, because they love to play with containers unless you tie it down. But then you're going to have to constantly clean it as well, because they're going to urinate in it, they're going to drop feces in it, things like that. So all these are issues. Now, if they do toss it over, if you're someone who goes to work or you're away from home for a large portion of your day, that's a large portion of the day that they're there without drinking water. Especially in the tropics, like here where it gets really hot, that's a bad deal. If rabbits don't have water, they're not going to eat. If they don't eat, they're not going to have proper nutrition. If they don't have proper nutrition, they're not going to breed properly, and so on and so forth. So, to make a long story short, you want healthy rabbits, make sure they always have clean drinking water, use automatic watering systems. Number 8. Now we're ready to get some rabbits. Yeah, okay? So, like I say, start small and grow into it. Most people will start with a trio, that's 1 buck, 2 does. I personally like the idea of quartet, 1 buck and 3 does. You know why? Better probability, nicer odds. If you have 3 does, you have a greater chance of successful matings, because like I said, it doesn't always go according to plan. If you're doing natural breeding, there's no guarantee that the doe is going to accept the buck when you want them to. However, if you're fortunate enough to have 3 does bred within a day or 2 of each other, you have a lot better chance of fostering kits if something goes wrong with one of those does. If you only have 2 does, yeah, you could still foster, but you may not be able to foster all. If both of them make 6, the chances of one doe bringing all 12 to maturity is slim. Okay, but if you have 3 doors, one gives trouble, the other 2, you can split the litter between them and try that door again. So you have better odds. Okay, I don't like the idea of 2 box and 2 doors at all, because to me it's a waste of space. If you have 2 box, after you breed these 2 doors for the better part of a month or maybe even beyond, depending on your breeding schedule, these boxes are going to be idle. They're just going to be sitting there eating feed. And remember, you're starting a new venture, you want to keep your cost down. On the flip side, if you have 1 buck and 3 doors, what happens if my buck dies? I much rather replace 1 buck than to have 2 bucks idling and only 2 doors, whereas my chance of increasing production will be better with 3 doors. Just my 2 cents. Number 9, and this could have been number 1 for me. If you're going to be successful, you need to have some form of record keeping. Record keeping is the lifeblood of any successful business. You're not going to know if you're succeeding, failing, drawing even, anything like that, if you don't keep proper records. So I don't have to go too deep into record keeping. You understand the importance of it, but we've already done a couple videos on record keeping. If you haven't seen those, I suggest you go and look at those right now. I'll leave the link to those in the description below, or I'll probably leave a link somewhere up here. But definitely go and look at the 2 videos on record keeping and understand the importance of it to any business. And last but not least, remember, you're in business, so you want to start selling as soon as possible. Okay? Now, you're rearing rabbits, whether you decide to go the pet way or the meat way, the very first opportunity you have, start selling. Don't try to accumulate a certain amount before. Start selling right away. Okay? Remember, you're buying feed. Maybe you're not paying yourself as yet, but at the very least, you want the rabbits to pay for their own feed. So at the very first opportunity, start selling so that you can reinvest that money into feed and start taking some of the strain off your own pocket. As you go along, you can grow and expand, and then you can start looking at a profit, and then be really in business. Okay guys, so how we do that? Again, social media, friends, family. The easiest people to tackle first and foremost are your closest friends and your family. Target them first, then move on to people you don't know. Social media, things like that. Or again, like I said before, partner with someone who already has a market. It's simple. So you're going to piggyback off of their system. They're not going to mind, because as long as you're supplying the same quality that they're putting out, more than likely you all could have a really good partnership together, because you can target bigger markets because you now have more supply. You know? So again, guys, it's a business. Sell, sell, sell. You know? Start marketing your product and sell it as soon as possible, and I guarantee you, as soon as you have that cash flow coming in, you're going to be motivated to want to do more. You're not going to lose your zeal at the first opportunity when something goes wrong, because you know you can do it again and there's a chance that you can bring in some additional cash. So guys, that's it, you know. It's that simple. It's complicated but simple at the same time. Okay, just follow these 10 steps and you are almost guaranteed to be successful in your rabbit venture. Okay, of course there are other things that you're going to learn along the way, but these are the basics. You stick to the basics, keep it simple, don't overcomplicate your system. A lot of people have a tendency to do that. They want things to be too fancy and too complex, and no, keep it simple. As you grow, you can implement other things into your operation, but in that first year, stick to the basics, get some product going out the door, get some cash coming in, and I guarantee you, you're going to want to keep doing it. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for today. Again, if it's your first time pulling up, please hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share. If you're going to subscribe, remember, hit that little bell so so you'll get notifications whenever we upload new content. We bring you a brand new video every Monday, and we look forward to seeing you guys, and we thank you again for your continued support in 2024. So, on behalf of my business partner Sean McLean, Sean Austin, Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce, we're signing out. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.